Hi, this is Mike England with West, a WFG company, and I'm going to show you some of my favorite demographics for targeting different audiences on Facebook for real estate. So right here, if you're not familiar with this screen, this is my ads manager, much different than boosting a post. This is where you can create more dynamic, custom, very targeted audiences. And some important things to understand is we have right now the United States potential reach is 210 million. We're going to want to narrow that down. So I'm in the Las Vegas market, so I'm going to use that as the example. So right here, I'm going to just go ahead and put in the address um, to my office. And there it is. And I have a 10-mile radius. Now it's important to know what's included in this radius, so I'm going to explain that here in detail. The default is everyone in this location. I use that for a lot of my campaigns. You can also do everyone who lives in this location. So now you can see that it's 1.2 million people who've recently been in this location within this radius. So this could be somebody, that lives in Henderson that has recently been in this location. I can also do people traveling to this location. Now, important thing to know about traveling to this location is it's more than 125 miles away. So this could be somebody traveling from Southern California to maybe they came and hung out at the Strip. Maybe they've been looking for a house. Whatever the case may be, there was 88,000 people that have been within this location. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go back to everyone in this location. So if I was to run a just listed campaign and I wanted to, there's kind of two ways you can run a just listed campaign. If you want a higher quality lead and you're doing something with like a lead form, a lead generation one, then I would want to narrow my audience a little bit more and not be as broad. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say I'm looking for 25 to 65. I'm going to go right here and I'm going to look for we're going to look for people that are likely to move. So I'm going to go under behaviors, residential profiles, likely to move. Then I'm also going to you could put in things like Zillow as an interest, things like that. That'll make that audience much more broad, but we're going to go with likely to move. And then I'm also, I have 43,000 people that are likely to move. What I can also do is I can narrow that audience even more according to their household income. So we're going to go demographics, financial, and we're going to say that this person's maybe looking for a home in the 200,000 price range. So we're going to go 50 to 75, and then we're going to go to 75, 99, and we'll even go one more level up here. So right here, that's 23,000 people. So that's going to be a pretty targeted audience for a just listed campaign. I can play around with these demographics and go a little bit broader if I want to, add more financial areas. I can even stretch the radius if I want to. But this one is would be pretty good for that kind of lead generation just listed campaign. If I was looking for more quality, less quantity as far as leads go. If I wanted to do get more quantity leads, and maybe I'm doing a page post engagement ad, which would be similar to a boost post, or I wanted to just get a lot of leads, I would leave all this the same, 10-mile radius, 25 to 65. It could be different for you. You may want to go 22. I see some people, they prefer to bump that up to 30. In this one, I'm doing 25. Instead of just likely to move, I will add in Zillow. I will also add in Trulia, Realtor.com, Homes.com, and I'll even type in Redfin. So basically, I'm just doing the ones that show up typically on the first page when you do a Google search for like Las Vegas homes for sale. I have 190,000 people that would fit within the income bracket. If I wanted to keep it real broad, I could just take out the income, and now I'm at 370,000. So that's a really good way to do like a page post engagement ad and generate a ton of comments, ton of likes, which ultimately, the goal is to take them and bring them into a private message on Facebook or send more traffic to your website. So that's how you'd want to engage with those leads, as where if you were to do a lead generation campaign from the objectives, then where you'd get their name, their email address, and phone number, you would maybe go with a little bit of a smaller targeted audience. If I was to do a just sold campaign, so we're going to switch it to a just sold campaign, I'm going to drop this down to, let's go with we'll go with a 2 mile radius. You can do 1 to 3 is what I suggest, but we're going to go to a 2 mile radius. We got 46,000 people. I'm going to bump the age up to more of a potential home seller. Probably, 30 would be the lowest age there on the demographic. I'm going to X out of this, and I'm going to keep this one really simple. I'm just going to go homeowners. And there we go. So let's see what our number is, 66,000 people. If I wanted to, I can narrow that audience even more and go down to 1. Let's see what that gives us. 32,000 people. So right here, this is a really good just sold campaign. Very much like your traditional just sold mailers. I'm able to focus on specific neighborhoods. I can even, see the different communities that I want to target, and what I could possibly do is go Queensridge. If I just want to focus on Queensridge, I put the drop pin in there. Then I'm going to put this down to a mile. And then what I can do here is I'm actually going to X out of that. And maybe I don't want to target Pecola Ranch. So I'm going to drop a pin in Pecola Ranch. And I'm going to knock that down to a mile as well. And watch this. I can go right here and I can just exclude that location. So maybe I'd probably want to move that drop pin a little bit more down here. So I'm going to show you, go down here. So that would take out Canyon Gate Country Club and Pecola Ranch. And we'll drop this one down to a mile. And then we're going to X out, exclude this one. And so you would just have to, you just got to work with it a little bit. But now I eliminated some of that territory. So now I'm pretty much focused on this one community right here, Queensridge, that is connected to a couple good golf courses here in Vegas. So that is how you can kind of do a just sold campaign, 23,000 homeowners. If I was wanting to do a homes list or a neighborhood list, what I could do is a zip code. So I'm going to do 89144. And right here, it covers that zip code. So I could reach, again, 30 to 65. I can drop that if I'm looking for potential people that would maybe buy a home in that zip code. And I want to tell them how many homes are available for sale instead of everyone in this location. I can do people recently in this location. I can even do for those relocation buyers maybe traveling to this location, but I'd probably do recently. So recently in this location, and I could do something like likely to move. And let's see what numbers that gives us. So that's a pretty small number right there. So what I would also do is I would probably add in things like Zillow. See what number that gives us. Okay, 11,000. So a little bit better. Trulia. If you still think those numbers are too low, you can then move it back to everyone in this location, which will also give you the homeowners in that location as well. So that's a pretty good number. Now what I will do is I am going to show you if I wanted to do the same thing. We're going to do everyone who lives in this location, but I'm going to target the sellers in that neighborhood, in that zip code. And maybe there's been 30 homes that have sold in this neighborhood, and I want to my call to action is something along the lines is find out how that's impacted the value of your home. And so what I would do is I would X out these, and I will do homeowners. All right, so now my demographic is 14,000 people. And the last one that I wanted to show you was how you could target people that rent versus buy situation. So when I go in here, I'm going to go a little bit broader on this one. I'm actually just going to do Las Vegas as a whole. And I'm going to go ahead and keep it, we're going to go everyone in this location. We're going to make this a bigger audience. We'll do 20, we're going to even make this 22. So real young first-time home buyer, right? So we've got 1.6, 1,600,000 people. Then when I go right here, I go browse, demographics, home ownership, renters. So you're going to see how many renters, 610,000. Then I'm going to narrow this audience, and I'm going to go according to their household income. So financial income, and let's do 50 to 75. We'll do 75 to 100,000, 100,000, 125. We'll even go one more up. All right, so there you go, 360,000 people in the Las Vegas area that are renting their home with this income. If I wanted to really find a really good borrower, then I would X that out, and then my income level would be even higher. There's some other things you can do as well. If I wanted to get really detailed, I can even go in here and browse, and I could even do how many credit. Actually, instead of browsing, I'll just show you here, credit line. And let's see that you can even do how many lines of credit. So if you want to get somebody that maybe has maybe potentially better credit, maybe they only have three or four lines of credit, whatever that that common number is. You can really kind of boil it down to those kind of numbers. But in this case, I keep it pretty broad. This campaign I've seen it work really well for both lenders and for real estate agents. So hopefully these demographics, I also, I wrote some of my favorite I call them my ad recipes, some different ads that I've seen work really well in multiple markets, not just in Las Vegas. And so I gave you kind of my top 5 that you can use to help grow your business. And have a fantastic day.